My boyfriend invited his awful family who bullies and disrespect me to stay in our apartment. He broke down and cried when he walked on me moving out. Tyler and I were engaged 3 years ago. I ended things because of his family's contact interference. I returned the ring and tried to move on as best as possible. 1 year later, we started to talk again. I had already taken a new job that removed me from the area, and I'm making 5 times his salary. We decided to give it a try and take things slow. He moved to a town halfway from where I live now, and after almost a year, we decided to move in together. However, when the time came, I hesitated. He rented a place, and while I didn't agree to fully move in, I would stay for 2 nights a week while working near his area. I also bought all the furniture and considered accepting my ring back. Everything seemed good until he lost his job. He became very bitter because he was not only passed over for a promotion but laid off. I had to help him with his bills, and I was okay doing it while he got back on his feet, but I noticed that he violated the boundary I had established with his family. Tyler started doing video calls and giving them virtual tours of the place despite me telling him that I did not wish to appear on camera. He used my phone to call them, and this made me very angry. I never asked him to cut his family off. All I asked was to never be forced to interact with them. I'd agreed that I would be civil and polite should there ever be a wedding, but there would be no phone calls, and I would attend 0 family functions. When we first dated, his mother never liked me and was incredibly disrespectful. She went from making faces of disapproval in front of me to actively excluding me from conversations. She also ignored me the one time that I had invited her to our place. Things got worse when she blatantly talked about his ex, Nina, in front of me, and didn't mind letting me feel that she would do anything to get them back together. Our engagement ended because brother-in-law was at our place. His then-wife kept calling him and he was ignoring her, so sister-in-law called me in tears and said he was bringing diapers, and 4 hours later, he wouldn't pick up the phone. I passed the phone down to Bill and he yelled at her. I called him out for it and we argued. Mother-in-law called me after that and insulted me. She said I had no business meddling in her other son's marriage and that she hoped her son open his eyes and leave me. I was still very confident in my relationship with Tyler and put her in her place. She started crying and said she wished her son would put cuernos on me, Spain slang for cheating, because he's fit and I'm a little chubby and I had lucked out. She never apologized and Tyler said she was his mother and he couldn't do anything, and that she had been through a lot since father-in-law left her for another woman. The situation escalated and it got worse and worse. His family would intentionally show up unannounced at very late hours or call him extremely early in the morning. This stressed me out, and when I said they were no longer welcome, he tried to impose them on me, so I broke up with him. 3 months into his unemployment situation, I got lots of hostility from him. He was defensive and guarded his phone. When he took a part-time job and his weird behavior got worse, I feared he was having an affair, so I got into his phone. I know it's wrong. I found a long trail in his family chat. His mother trashed me like I was some loser aspiring to be her DIL, and his brothers made fun of my voice when I was angry. I stopped looking into his phone, but I felt deeply betrayed. Last week, Tyler announced that his family was coming to visit. He gave me no space to refuse and 0 time to process. I found it extremely weird that 6 people would take a 3-hour flight and had no idea of where they would be staying. We had a huge argument, and I was hurt to see that he just slipped into his old habits. He shut down my objections by rubbing it on my face that it was his house, and I needed to stop being so childish because if his family needed to stay over, we wouldn't turn them away. I have no proof of this, but I think maybe this is why he chose a 4-bedroom place. He said the extra beds that I bought would be great for inviting friends over. I never questioned him because I never thought I would end up having to help him pay his rent. I was not on the lease, but we were planning to talk to the landlord as our relationship seemed to have reached a stable patch. I cried all night, and he jolted out of bed and mumbled that I was a drama queen and that he was fed up. I've never felt so empty inside my heart. Once the panic subsided, I focused on practical matters. I packed methodically, leaving behind anything that might trigger memories. Unfortunately, I didn't get to completely move before he showed up. He had some kind of a breakdown and cried and begged, but I had made my decision. He sent me a long text message apologizing. He also said that I imploded his life and his family's, which caused me to think that he might have thought of bringing them to live with him. I know it sounds far-fetched, but I don't know what to think. He started calling me a lot and it made me very anxious, so I told him that he's a lesson, and I will never again date a man who's so far behind in his life that he needs to depend on the very same person that he mistreats. I called our relationship a painful mistake and told him that I hated him. His reaction freaked me out because he cried so loud that I had to hang up and block him. I'm haunted by his reaction.